Terminator Dark Fate, rated 15. Sarah Connor, played by Linda Hamilton, and a hybrid cyborg human, Mackenzie Davis, must protect a young girl, played by Natalie Reeves, from a newly modified Terminator, played by Gabriel Luna, from the future. Okay. So the hype in the build-up to this movie's release was just incredible, with its trailers relentlessly being shown everywhere on a relentless loop. The much publicised Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton reunited with James Cameron, even though it's not a James Cameron directed, but produced and co-written by him. So, in other words, expectations for this movie, which is a direct sequel to the 1991 Terminator 2 Judgment Day, with us Terminator fans expected to become blinkered by the rise of the machines, Salvation, and genocide Terminator sequels in between. And I think that us Terminator fans, vast majority at least, were prepared to do that, on condition that this new Terminator installment, Dark Fate, would live up to our expectations, and with an estimated budget somewhere in between $160 to $200 million, yes, naturally enough, expectations were sky high for this. And unfortunately, this movie is extremely disappointing. It doesn't even remotely come close to stimulating Terminator fans' expectations, to be honest. It's like a diluted down version of Terminator 2 Judgment Day at best, bearing in mind that is 28 years ago now. This movie is just about watchable, I suppose, but it's just not good enough. The storyline is just pathetic and ridiculously weak, especially the whole story surrounding the new Terminator, the half-human, half-cyborg female, and why they're back, one of them to protect the other, to kill the young girl. It's just a disgusting insult really to us Terminator fans that they would dish out such a dead-in-the-water weak premise as that to us. Now, the three involved in the above-mentioned equation, Mackenzie Davis, Natalie Reeves and Gabriel Luna, all do an exceptional job. It's just a disgrace that they didn't have a half-decent script to work with and to sink their teeth into. It's also an insult to Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton that they too are given extremely weak scripts to work with. It kind of beggars belief that this pathetic, weak script was given a green light, to be honest, you know? You would imagine that Linda Hamilton, Schwarzenegger or someone would have thumped their fist on a boardroom table during the read-through beforehand, demanding the script be burnt, to say the least. That said, again, Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger do incredible jobs here, with Linda Hamilton kicking ass, blasting the Terminator galore. What shocked me most about this movie is that it doesn't tick any of the boxes. And with an estimated budget of $200 million, it's like, what did they spend the money on? The sequel just doesn't up the bar by any stretch of the imagination. The special effects are seen before but done 1,000 times better already. The storyline is very predictable. You know exactly what's going to happen with no surprises. I was sort of half expecting some sort of twist at the end where, oh, I don't know, it's revealed Linda Hamilton is a Terminator in disguise or something. It doesn't happen. This movie is not even remotely worthy of being labelled as a sequel to the groundbreaking 1991 Terminator 2 Judgment Day. The Terminators themselves, Schwarzenegger and the other guy, look as though they were made from tin cans, to be honest, when their skin starts peeling off. There is one slightly impressive car chase scene in the first act, but nothing we haven't seen done 500 times better before, to be honest. The fight scenes are very shambolically executed, and without going into major giveaway spoilers, there are countless times when the Terminator has several opportunities to take a kill. Like when he spots him going into a hut from a distance, and we're like, well, why doesn't he just get a bazooka and blast them away already? The helicopter scene, the airplane scene, it's all been done but 500 times better before. Now, without going into spoilers, something happens on the beach that kind of doesn't make any sense really. And then later on in the movie, the Linda Hamilton character makes a reference to something which totally contradicts that scene on the beach. And then in another scene much later on, Linda Hamilton and another character are looking at something but in a completely different timeline. That doesn't make any sense either. Look, as I said before, this Terminator installment is watchable. And if you are a Terminator fan, well, I don't think there's anything that could restrain you from seeing this. But this Terminator sequel is not even remotely good enough, to be honest. Watchable, but just not good enough. 4 out of 10.